Hey guys, I'm making another video. This is my first edition, I recently had my first edition of the Super Week, which I'm very proud of. And now I'm doing another news-centered show called A Day in Disneyland, which is my animation-centric show. And it's mostly animation, but I like to also include Disney in it, and the Disney movies, the Disney live action stuff, Disney musicals, because the show is literally called A Day at Disneyland. So what am I gonna do? So there's not too much to talk about, which is why I'm not using my list. There's 2 or 3 topics that I want to discuss, but which only means that this is going to be a much shorter show, but we'll see how it goes. So the first thing we have to talk about, it's a little late to talk about it, but I'm going to talk about it anyway because I want to. Of course, if you have been watching the news lately, you know that the greatest movie of all time, the most perfect movie in the universe, The Lion King, is getting a live-action remake with live-action lions, and it's not actual lions. It's all going to be completely 100% CGI, just like the Jungle Book was a few years ago, and it's actually being directed by the same director who directed the Jungle Book, Jon Favreau, who, by the way, also directed the first 2 Iron Man films. So, I mean, he did a wonderful job directing the live-action Jungle Book. So, it only seemed natural that he'd be given The Lion King, which is by far the best movie ever, according to my opinion. Sorry, getting a little too personal there. However, very sad news to me. They've recently announced the songs that they're going to be using in the live-action Lion King. They're going to use 4 out of the 5 major songs from the original. They're going to use, obviously, these decisions are pretty obvious. They're going to use the Circle of Life, because, I mean, you can't really have the Lion King without the Circle of Life. I Just Can't Wait to Be King, which is super for me. I love that song. I actually performed that song in grade school on stage. There's a fun fact you probably didn't know. Obviously, Hakuna Matata, because again, you can't have the Lion King without Hakuna Matata. It's just not possible. And of course, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Because I believe it was Oscar nominated, and I believe it actually won the Oscar that year, but I'm not 100% sure about it. But unfortunately, they had to cut out Be Prepared for some reason. Now look, it still is going to be The Lion King, at least I hope. And it's my favorite movie of all time. So, no matter what they're going to say about that movie, no matter what changes they make to that movie, I'm still not going to be 100% happy about it. So there really is no reason for me to just get upset about it, But still, in my opinion, I think this is a bad idea. I mean, one of the great things about Disney villains is they always have a villain song to, promote the villain, show just how bad the villain is, and show how the Disney villains have this showy personality. They want to show off just how great of a villain they are. And I think easily one of the better Disney villain songs is Be Prepared by Scar. Obviously, I mean, the original wasn't performed by Jeremy Irons. It was, I believe, Jim Cummings actually did the song. He by the way voiced Ed on the original. I bet you probably didn't know that either. Now, in this new live-action story, Scar is being played by Chiwetel Ejiofor, who of course played the villain in Serenity. He actually appeared in a lot of movies that you probably didn't even know it was him. He appeared in The Martian, and he recently played Mordo in Doctor Strange. Now, the guy's got a great voice. I'm just gonna say it right. They picked him for Scar for a reason. So I thought it would be interesting to see how he could use his voice to, bring this character to life, and most importantly, sing. But apparently he isn't, and it sucks. But I guess I'm gonna get over it eventually. I mean, in the live-action Beauty and the Beast, they did keep most of the original songs intact, and they also added several new ones. So maybe they decided to compensate for the lack of Be Prepared to, inject some new songs into this new retelling. Maybe they brought in some songs from the Lion King musical. But we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. Well, I've already talked about this way longer than I wanted to. I'm sorry. The Lion King reboot is it's not the only movie that's. It's not the only animated to live action movie that Disney's making. They're also making Aladdin, as well as Dumbo. However, they were also working on Mulan, which was, by the way, supposed to come out this year, in November, I think. And for some unknown reason, they've changed the release date, and they moved it back about a year and a half from now. And it's supposed to come out, I believe, somewhere in the middle of 2020, which sucks because Mulan's also one of my favorite Disney movies. It's not in my top 5. It's probably in my top 10, but I love Mulan, and I've heard some really good stuff about it. That they were completely throwing all the songs away, and they decided to just make it more of a female empowerment story and focus more on the whole little teenage girl saving her country by joining the army, which I thought was a very good idea. I mean, in a world where we have a movie like Wonder Woman coming up, where it's basically a world mostly dominated by man, and man can do no wrong, and they have this war where they basically kill each other for no reason, and then this woman comes out of nowhere and just schools everybody on how life should be. I thought a movie like Mulan could be a nice follow-up to that. But they pushed it back. I don't know why. Maybe in the coming months we'll hear some more stuff about the story, and then we'll know. And on a side note, they've also pushed back another movie they were planning to make, Noel. Now, Noel probably sounds like a very stupid idea when you think about it, but here's the thing. It's a movie where Santa Claus wants to retire, basically, and he wants to pass on his Santa Claus-ish mantle onto his son, but his son is afraid of riding the sleigh. and he doesn't want to do it. So his sister Noel, played by I believe Anne Hathaway, I think. No, it's either Anne Hathaway or Anna Kendrick. I'm sorry, I should have done my research on that. But the guy's sister Noel steps in, Santa Claus's daughter, and she becomes the new Santa Claus. It was going to be a Christmas musical thing. It might be terrible, it might be awesome, I don't know. It's Disney, so they know how to make good musicals. But I don't know. I've got nothing to base this movie on. So I hope you enjoyed this, the first edition of A Day in Disneyland. I'm going to do more of these in the coming weeks, and we'll see where it goes. So thanks for watching. Good night, everybody. Good day.